Just because you're terrified of it, it's coming. Fuck.
Happy New Year, movie fans! It's your boy Peter Pablo, and today we're doing a spoiler review of Season 1 of The Witcher.
Toss a coin to your Witcher, O Valley of Plenty.
So there's your warning, guys. If you haven't seen Season 1 of The Witcher yet, I suggest that you save this video in your watch later list and come back once you have. But if you've seen all 8 episodes or you generally don't care about spoilers, then welcome. The Witcher is a fantasy version of medieval Europe, except the difference is you've got magic and monsters. It's got the typical fantasy tropes like elves, dwarves, and mages. This world also has witchers, which are essentially monster hunters for hire. Witchers essentially start off as orphan boys that are sent to witcher school to be trained to hunt down and destroy all monsters. And they're put through this mutation process, which gives them superhuman abilities.
Is it true what they say?
Quick disclaimer, most of my knowledge from the lore of The Witcher comes from the Witcher 3 game. But before the games, The Witcher was popularized mainly by the books written by author Andrzej Sapkowski. I think there's about 8 books. And because of The Witcher 3, I love everything Witcher. So you can only imagine my level of excitement as soon as Netflix announced they were making a Witcher series starring my favorite Superman, Henry Cavill. You've got violence, nudity, monsters, magic, prejudice, with a brooding protagonist that does a lot of bad things, but deep down has a really big heart. So it goes without saying, folks, this is not for kids. As a Witcher fan, it does a lot of things right, but not everything. For starters, the dryads. Every time they were on screen, I was like, these Amazon-type women are in the forest with all these weapons. They're just there for show. They got all these weapons that never get used. These women look really badass, and all they do is just retract their arrows, but just do nothing. The Nilfgaardian army is cannon fodder. Why not send a scouting party, like 5 or 6 of them, into the forest to track down Ciri? Then you see the dryads really kick some ass. And then they made Ciri drink that tree sap, but all in all the dryads just sap the energy and momentum from each episode they appear in. What a waste of showing these warrior women not do any warrior things. The Nilfgaardian armor. What's up with that? It looks like dehydrated rhino balls. Because they've already introduced the armor in Season 1, I doubt they're going to change it again for Season 2. For a show about a monster hunter, you don't see enough monster hunting. Just some minor gripes, some of the CG was a little questionable, and the hedgehog makeup was really rubbery at times. The main magic sign that we see Geralt perform in this show is Ard, which is that telekinetic push. But there are other signs that we didn't get to see. We see a little bit of Axii where it kind of does this. Axii is a magic sign that witchers use. That's kind of like a Jedi mind trick. We don't see the magic sign called Quen. Quen is a magic sign that witchers use that acts kind of like a shield. That's why witchers never use actual shields. Queen Calanthe doesn't approve the hedgehog's proposal to her daughter, so she orders her men to kill this guy. Geralt comes to the rescue, so the hedgehog and Geralt kill all these soldiers, and after an awesome display of magic from her daughter, Queen Calanthe changed her mind and accepts him as her son-in-law. And Calanthe announces that she's also getting married as well. Suddenly all is good again, as if nothing happened. I feel sorry for the families of those soldiers who died for nothing. Yeah, it was a big party, everybody was drinking, having fun, then there was a bit of a family dispute, you know, your husband paid with his life, and then everything got good again at the end. Sorry for your loss. And episode 6 with the golden dragon? So the dragon's talking, but the mouth's not moving. What, are you kidding me with this? I'm not too sure about their budget, but only 8 episodes? What kind of customer service is this? The last episode was very Yennefer heavy, which isn't really a problem. But the title character, the Witcher, Geralt, he's hardly even in the show. And when he is, he spends his time hallucinating on his back passed out in the back of a wagon. I think we deserved a little bit more Geralt for the last episode. Now, I know it doesn't sound like it, but a lot of that was just my personal gripes. But for the most part, I really enjoyed the series. Henry Cavill dehydrated himself in preparation from those shirtless scenes. Over a course of 3 to 4 days prior to shooting, he would gradually deplete his water consumption. So that's what I've been doing wrong all these years. I've been drinking water. Yeah, that's water. Henry Cavill was so buff for this show that he actually tore through some of his outfits. The fight scenes, the battle scenes, the big war scenes where the two armies collide. Lots of impalements, lots of beheadings. Henry Cavill's swordplay was top notch. You can only imagine this would take hours and hours of training and rehearsals. This show isn't just about Geralt. This is a story with 3 protagonists. Of course, you've got Geralt, played by Henry Cavill. Yennefer is played by Anya Chalotra.
So that's all life is to you?
And Princess Cirilla, or Ciri, played by Freya Allan. You had to get these three characters right, otherwise the whole show would just fall apart. Anya Chalotra played Yennefer so brilliantly. She starts her story as this hunchback with this invisible lollipop consistently in her mouth. Then she recruits this other mage to help transform her into something more beautiful. This mage kind of looked like a young Richard Branson. When she was a hunchback, there was this scene where she cries, and there were these boogers coming down her nose. Damn, somebody pass her a tissue. After her transformation, she got super hot, and I'm like, somebody pass me a tissue. As far as child actors go, Freya Allan did a marvelous job playing Ciri.
I can't do this without you!
Henry Cavill is perfect as Geralt. He's confessed that he's played The Witcher 3 over and over again. That final battle in episode 8 between the mages and the Nilfgaardian army, it was an awesome display of magic. Aside from our three main characters, the supporting actors did a fantastic job. Joey Beatty as Jaskier, also known as Dandelion in the games. He's that perfect comedic sidekick next to the brooding and stoic Geralt. And that song, Toss a Coin to Your Witcher, I can't get it out of my head.
Oh, valley of plenty, oh.
In episode 3, Geralt fights Striga. Their fight starts off with Geralt swinging a silver chain. Reminds me of the trailer from the Witcher 2 game. One of these episodes, Yennefer goes crazy with her portals. They came from the snow, they went to a town, they went to the desert, and then she portals herself into a beach with a baby. Sadly, the baby was dead. She buries this baby at the beach. And it was a really shallow grave. Have you ever buried anything in the beach before? All it takes is 2 waves. Look who's back! Yes, she buried it in higher ground, but all it takes is high tide and boom, dead baby. Shout out to Jodie May playing Queen Calanthe. Her performance really exuded that level of power and arrogance that one would expect from someone of royalty. And Mayanna Buring played Tasya, really great. Fun fact, Mayanna voiced a character in Witcher 3. She voiced Anna Henrietta, the Duchess of Toussaint. The soundtrack of this show was so good, it really made me feel like I was in the world of The Witcher. And probably the biggest highlight of this show for me was the non-linear way of storytelling. I started to figure it out at around episode 3 or 4. All these stories were told from separate timelines. The showrunner Lauren Schmidt-Hisrich drew inspiration from Christopher Nolan's movie Dunkirk. As you remember, Dunkirk's storytelling wasn't filmed in a very linear way either. Because Christopher Nolan said sometimes the longest part of the story isn't the most important. How funny was Jaskier peeping through that window like a real perv? Everybody online is making a big deal of the casting of Triss. I admit, at first I saw her, I was like, oh, that's different. But in this show, she's a secondary character. So all I care about really is can she act? And yeah, she did a good job. She may not look like the Triss we know from the games, but apparently this is how Triss looks as described in the books. The girl can act, so I'm over it. Before I share my final thoughts, click like, share, subscribe, and turn on your notifications for my weekly reviews. And now for my final thoughts. Starting off with the lows, we've got a lack of monster hunting, Dryads were a snooze fest, questionable effects and makeup, last episode didn't have enough Geralt. As for the highs, we've got awesome performances, in-your-face action, amazing soundtrack, and brilliant non-linear storytelling. So overall, I really like this series. 8 episodes was not enough? Give me more. Now we just have to wait till 2021 for season 2. So what do I want to see in season 2? I want to see more monster hunting. I want to see the Witcher training grounds of Kaer Morhen. I want to meet the Witcher trainer Vesemir. I want to see Geralt use the magic sign of Igni, where fire comes out of his palms. Seen season 1 of The Witcher yet? Tell me your thoughts in the comment section below. And while you're there, let me know what I should review next. And who am I, you ask? I'm Will Smith. Bye for now. Ooh.